Another pillar of success is becoming a master promoter. If you're not good at anything else and you're really good at this one thing, you can make millions of dollars in this industry. Becoming a master promoter, because you're simply getting it off of you and you're getting it onto somebody else. How do you become a master promoter? A lot of people's heard us talk about this. First thing you gotta do is stair-step your calendar. Very first thing you gotta do is stair-step your calendar. You gotta know when the next national event is, and that goes in your calendar. The next thing you want to put in there is your next regional event. The next thing you want to put in there is your next success training, all the way down to your home challenge parties, and then you build your life around that. People say, well, I'm not going to do that. With a show of hands, how many of y'all's got a job? Everybody that just raised their hand, you are currently building your life around a calendar. It's just not the one you designed. People say, well, I ain't going to do that. Stay broke. It's up to you. Is it okay if I tell y'all the truth today? You build your life around your calendar, and you start with the most important event in business, and that's the very next national event, and you work your way down, and everything else revolves around that. Why do I say you have to start there? How can you promote if you don't know when nothing is? You got to know when it is, or you can't promote. It kills me. I see people in business and they say, I'm a business owner, I'm doing real good. Really, when's your next event? Well, I'm not sure, but I'll find out. How many of y'all know they ain't gonna do real good? I'm just telling you. Never miss anything. Well, people say, well, you know, I've been to that last event. I don't really need to go to another one of them. I don't need all that motivation. It's temporary anyway. So is bathing, but please do it once a day. Hello? Some people twice. I'm just telling you. And if you're not at the event, do you think your people's going to come to the event? They might come once, but they'll never come to the next one because they won't find any importance in it if you're not there. They'll think it's something they just have to go to one time and they never have to go back again, so you've got to always be there. Always promote the next event in every conversation. Every time you're talking to someone, you're promoting the next event. If you're going to succeed in a big way in ViSalus, you're going to have to learn how to be a nonstop, 100% of the time, absolute, total, complete promoter. And people say, well, people's going to get tired of me saying, Jake, are you coming to the next event? Jake, you coming to the next event? Jake, you coming to the next event? Yeah, they probably would. So you just turn that around, you go, Jake, you coming to the next event? Yes. The next conversation, Jake, how many of your regionals are coming to the event? I'm still promoting, I'm just asking it a different way. Tim, is that correct? Is promoting the secret to it? It absolutely works. Every conversation you're promoting. This is my favorite, relational marketing. Some people call this network marketing. Some people call it multi-level marketing. I've heard it called interactive distribution. But what we are in, ladies and gentlemen, is relational marketing. That's what we're in. And if you're going to build it big, you've got to get good at relational marketing. Relationships are honor, trust, respect, and love. That's what relationships are. It's something that you're not given. It's something that you earn. You earn it through time, energy, influence, inspiration, example, with no expectations of immediate gain. This is what it's all about. There's people who master this skill. Two of them sitting right there, Dale and Linda Croy. Best I've ever met in my entire life at building relationships. And as you master this skill, your business will explode. How do you develop relationships? Number one, you provide leadership, encouragement, motivation, direction, and counsel to your team. Next, you must truly care about people and love them where they're at. Everybody don't want to go ambassador. Everybody don't want to go ambassador, and it's okay. They might say they do, but how many of y'all know if you say something but you're not willing to take action on it, you don't really want it, you're just kind of wishing. How many of y'all know what I'm talking about? It's okay. Love them right where they're at. Maybe one day things will change, but you love them where they're at. Don't try to make somebody something they're not. How many of y'all know there's things in life that's hard? And trying to make somebody do something or be something that they're not is a tough thing to do. It's almost like trying to climb a fence that's leaning towards you. Or like kissing a woman leaning away from you. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Or nailing Jell-O to a wall. How about that one? Don't try to make somebody be something or do something that they're not. Spend time each day strengthening your relationships. And I would encourage you to do that both upline and down. Always put your team before yourself, and I'm going to tell you something, sometimes that's tough. Sometimes that's tough. But that's what relational marketing is. Know what your team wants, their dreams, their goals, their ambitions. Always make time for your team. Always make time for your team. Are we going to be perfect at all of this stuff I'm talking about? No, I'm up here teaching it and I'm not perfect at it. We're always getting gooder. You got to get gooder as you go. Sometimes we're not going to hit 100% in all of these, but we're striving to do so. This one's a tough one for most people because they don't understand how holding somebody accountable to their goals is relational marketing. If you're my friend, are you going to hold me accountable to my goals? If you're their friend, you're going to hold them accountable to their goals. And let me tell you something, they will love you for doing that. They will absolutely love you for doing that. How many of y'all want to talk a little bit about building strategically and dynamically? Some of y'all want me to give you the magic bullet. What's that magic bullet? There ain't one. How many of y'all excited about that? But I will tell you, a lot of it's got to do with where you spend your time and how you spend your time. That's huge. We all of us, every single one of us, have the same number of hours in our day, the same number of days in our week, the same number of weeks and days in our month. It's what we choose or how we choose to spend that time is going to determine our success and failure. 80% of your time that you devote to ViSalus, 80% of it needs to be spent prospecting, presenting, and following up. 80% of it needs to be spent prospecting, presenting, and following up. And here's a shocker for some of y'all. Half of that needs to be for yourself, for you personally. You've got to stay in the growth stage. Nick's been in this business longer than anybody else in this room. Would y'all agree with me? Everybody say yes. Because he's the guy that founded the company. He was like the first one, right? Nick, do you still spend 80% of your time prospecting, presenting, and following up with new people? All day long. So if the guy that's been here the longest, 3-star ambassadors doing that, 4-star ambassadors doing that, do you think it might work for you? Say yes. Okay. 19% of your time you're going to be spending on your personal development / relational development. You're going to spend promoting, running contests, opening a month, closing a month. Some people call that the managerial stuff. I don't call it that. It's all important. But you're going to spend about 19% of your time doing that. 1% of your time will be spent fighting fires and troubleshooting. How many of y'all know if you are in a people's business, there's going to be fires that you got to put out? I mean, it's just the way that it is. But let me show you this. If you don't do it this way, if you do what most people do that fail in this industry and spend 80% of your time trying to manage people, you'll spend 19% of your time fighting fires and 1% of your time trying to sponsor people. You choose. You choose how you want to do it. You choose. I call it the egg hatching theory. I don't know. Nick's already cracking up. He don't even know what it is. He's talking about eggs again. Last time he was talking about biscuits, now he's talking about eggs. I don't even know. Well, what happens is people sponsor 2 or 3 people. They get 2 or 3 people in the business. They go rising star, right? And they quit sponsoring. They go into the management mode. It's like they get all 3 of their distributors together, climb up on them and sit on them and try to hatch them. You don't hatch ambassadors, Kevin. You don't hatch them, do you? You develop them by teaching them the right skill set, teaching them the actions, the activities. Man, you ain't going to call them 400 times a day and think you're going to hatch them out. It ain't going to happen. But that's what people do, Nick. You've seen it your entire life. That's what people do. This ought to be fun. How many of y'all are guilty of trying to hatch distributors? Handful of honest people in here. The rest of y'all that didn't raise your hand, we're going to definitely start praying here in a minute. I feel it coming. You want to build with momentum. What is momentum? Momentum is simply doing actions and activities that most people would generally do over weeks, months, or even years. You're going to do that in a very condensed time period. Give you an example. I built a business once. I made 98 phone calls in a day and a half, sponsored 10 people. Do y'all know most people don't make 98 phone calls in 6 months in this industry? To be honest with you, most people never make 98 phone calls in this industry. Because they make, 10 or 12 phone calls, they get their 3, and then they sit on them. Do a lot of actions and activities, you're going to create momentum. Once you create momentum, you can't stop it. It's like a big wave. It's like a big wave. Do y'all think we might have a little bit of momentum going on within ViSalus right now? Do y'all think there's going to be some momentum coming out of this event? Well, I'm going to need y'all's help because I just told John Pretty back in the back. I said, John, listen, man, you better go staff up. You better get ready because what do you think's going to happen? I said, we're going to double between now and November. How many of y'all think we can double this thing? Y'all don't make me look foolish.